Good afternoon, Haney Hornets. Thanks again for joining me for another Google session. Today we are going to be actually focused on Google Classroom in the addition with Google Calendar. Because we've done this before, I'll just hit on a few new features. As you can see, our first new feature, they have actually added the Google Classroom icon straight to your portal. So it is much easier to be able to click and go directly to all of your classrooms. Just as a reminder for today, please sign in. Once you go to the page, make sure that you click on this button right here where it says Google Forms Sign In. And of course, fill in the date, which is the 27th. And make sure at the bottom that you click on the Google Classroom and Google Calendar focus for today. Also, just in case you need to go back or need a little bit more detailed information, you can always take a look at our Google Classroom and Google Calendar slide presentation, which will be attached to this particular stream, so you have access through it until then. So as we are in the classroom, I'm going to go to one of my classes, and want you to kind of see some of the new features. Like I said, one of the colors, you see the difference with colors. Also, take a look at Google decided to add this new to-do list. So it gives a chance for you to kind of see what you need to be able to review, what has been reviewed, and so forth. And also in a student's view, you can go here and do the same thing and look at your to-do list as well. For what you have done or what needs to be done. So that's one of the newer features in Classroom. Let me go back. As well as you can also look under the classwork tab, and as you can see, you have links for Google Calendar, and this is a great way to be able to sync and go directly to your calendar from Classroom. The good thing about this, when you add any particular assignment, when you're logged in, it automatically adds it to your calendar. So it gives you a chance to, there's no having to add something here and there. It's a quick add it to the classroom, and then it will go directly into your calendar. So that's one thing that I absolutely love. Just reminding you as you are in your classroom, some of you have probably already noticed a lot of the new features or just a little bit of refinement. Of course, you have this material, which is a great way to add any resources that you've been using in your classroom, great way to add links to help with GMAS practice for your upper grades. So a good way to be able to link so they have access to everything that you use in class. One thing I love, of course, is this reuse post. If you're asking a certain question that kind of relates to several of your content areas, this is a great way to include this. Also, another thing that some of you will probably use, a great way to organize, especially as you're using and integrating Google Classroom a lot more. When you add a topic, of course, you can kind of separate it by content. You can add units. So it's a great way to kind of organize, especially teaching multiple content areas. Great way to organize and much easier for students to follow. Once again, our Skinny Snowman over here is a great way to be able to get to any settings that you want to change, like renaming, deleting, or copying it, or even moving down to be able to create a different organization. As a reminder, our tool here up here always is a great way for you to go in. You can view your class code here, kind of give some more examples, and so forth. So, real quick, going into Google Calendar. So because Classroom is something that we've used all the time, Google Calendar is something that we're getting a little bit more familiar with as we've now transitioned with Gmail. So with Google Calendar, this is a great way to be able to get to your calendar. But also, once again, going back to your portal, you can access Google Calendar here, as well as from your Drive. You can always access every Google application by going to our waffle grid here and kind of choosing where you want. So one thing that I wanted you, as you know, parent conferences are coming up, and some of you have already started that. Google Calendar is a good way to be able to organize where you can share with others as well as be able to create time slots. Of course, many of us have signed up for slots for the library with Ms. Harris or for any observations for close reading with Dr. Youssef. So this is a great way, and I'm going to quickly show you how to do this. So all you have to do, I particularly like the month view, but of course you can always go to your options here, go by day, week, and so forth, as you can see. I just prefer the month because it's easier for me to be able to organize. So for example, let's click on, one good thing you can click on here, automatically just clicking on it allows you to open up something. So we're going to do a practice one real quick. And of course, you can always follow along and do this as a way. The better, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And that goes for all the Google Suite applications. Because even I'm still, finding new things that I like about it and how to integrate it more within the classroom as a collaborative tool with the students. So good things about these, you can have an event, put an out of office if you're going to be out for a couple of days and so forth. Sending a reminder, task, of course. But one of the things that I wanted to focus on was this appointment slots. But before I click on that, I wanted to make sure that, let's say, going back to our Google Classroom, that you wanted to add an event from the calendar into the classroom. So doing a reverse instead of starting with classroom. All you have to do on this is click down this down arrow, and right here you have complete access where you can add a class and be able to share this with them. Also, another option, going to more options actually opens up where you can add people sharing. If you want to create a room in which you have certain, like perhaps EIP or ESOL for that particular meeting happening. Good tools with going into the full mode of calendar is not only is this going to set up in your calendar, but it kind of shows you of um, what type of meeting you want. Is it just a particular event? Is it a conference? And as you can see right here, you can add the location where you'd like it to be. Of course, this kind of works, if you're, traveling and so forth. So with this, you can easily also do a Hangout meet where you can quickly add a video chat with possibly a parent or another teacher or so forth to make it a little bit easier to be able to communicate. So once you have that, this is the only time in Google Suite that you have to save is like when you change your settings and so forth. So I'm just going to hit save. And let's say you want to make an edit. You can click right back on it. And once again, you can edit, go to more applications. And once again, you can copy, duplicate, you can delete. So I'm going to delete this. And as you can see, it's not there. But let's say I wanted to go ahead and create appointment slots. Like let's say conferences coming up. I know Mrs. Heredia and Ms. Atherley are constantly being pulled, and we are definitely appreciate all of their help always. So let's say you wanted appointment slots to make it a little bit easier. So all you have to do once again is click on it, and let's say conferences. And as you can see right here, you can add your time. But most important, let's take a look at this appointment slots. As I click on our appointment slots, you will see that it gives you a range of the times that you'd like and slots in 30 minutes, or let's say you wanted 15 every 15 minutes. So once I hit save, that gives me a chance. It's already here. So now let's click on it and go in full mode. And when you click on it, all you have to do is click on go to this appointment page for this calendar. And right here, as you can see, today it's the 20th. Well, today will be the 27th. And then you can see that it says next available appointment slots March 14th. So just go to your arrow. And as you can see right here, I've got conferences to where I want to be able to add this. So you want to book the appointment. Yes, I want to book the appointment. So I'm going to hit save. As you can see, it fills up and other people cannot see this particular um, time slot. They'll be able to tell, okay, that time slot's taken, I can't do that. So this is a great way to organize your conferences, easier way to snapshot to add to your TCAS. But the Google Calendar is a great way to integrate Classroom with Calendar. So once again, make sure that you sign in Google Classroom right here. Make sure that you put the focus as Google Classroom plus Calendar. If you have any questions, of course, you can always email me or you can always stop me in the hall. But also, once again, you can view the Google slide presentations if you needed a little snapshot of each set on how to add appointment slots or anything else. Thank you so much and have a great one. Bye.